An amortization schedule is created for every loan. It lays out how much will be paid every single month, and of that payment, how much will go towards interest and how much will pay down the loan or be applied to principal. And lastly, it includes what the balance is after payments made. Here's an example. Write out a complete amortization schedule for a $600 loan. The loan has a 4.8% interest compounded semi-annually for 2 years. Now, since it's compounding semi-annually, we know that there are 2 periods in a year for which we're going to be making a payment. Since we're doing this for 2 years, there'll be 4 periods or 4 payments altogether. The first payment will occur at the 6-month mark, since it's semi-annual. Second payment will occur at 12 months, the third payment at 18 months, and the last payment at 24 months, which is the end of the 2 years. First thing I need to do is calculate what the semi-annual payment will be. In loans that get paid every single month, this is a monthly payment. So I substituted all the values I have into the formula that we used earlier. We find out that the amount to pay semi-annually is $159.11. That will stay the same all the time. It's always $159.11. Then I need to calculate my interest. The interest is the portion of my payment that I'm actually being charged for the bank carrying this loan. The way to calculate interest is to take your annual interest rate, which in this case was 4.8%, divide it by 2 because there's 2 periods in a year, and multiply it with the previous unpaid balance or the current unpaid balance, which in this case is $600 since I haven't paid anything. And I find out that my interest is $14.40. So I put my $14.40 in there. Those 2 values that we've calculated are critical for the first row. So I paid $159.11 as my payment, but of that $159.11, $14.40 went towards interest. So if I subtract those values, found down below, I find that the difference is $144.71. This is the amount of money paid towards the principal. It means it's the amount of money that actually is paying down how much you owe on the loan. So $144.71 reduces the loan, and the loan started at $600. So taking $600, subtracting that amount applied to principal, we end up with a new balance of $455.29. So the unpaid balance at the end of the first 6 months is $455.29. When we come to the second payment, our amount that we pay is still $159.11, but the interest is now different because the interest is calculated on the previous unpaid balance. That means in my formula for interest, the $600 is no longer $600. It's now my unpaid balance of $455.29. And that calculation gives us an interest amount of $10.93. So we can look up above at the table and see that if my payment was $159.11, the interest was $10.93, I subtract those 2 values, I now have $148.18 applied to principal. That's the amount that the loan's being paid down. Now, the loan was previously $455.29. So let's write that down below. It was $455.29. And now I am taking off $148.18, which means that my new balance is $307.11. So after we have made 2 payments, the unpaid balance is $307.11. This continues on for 2 more payments. So the interest in month 18 is $7.37, and that means there's more applied to principal. The unpaid balance is $155.37. Our last payment is still $159.11. The interest is $373. If we subtract those values, we find out the amount applied to principal is $155.38. Now notice we're going to pay $155.38, but the unpaid balance was $155.37, so we're overpaying by a penny. Needless to say, when you're a penny off in one direction or another, it has to do with rounding, and banks will choose to just take your penny or give you a penny depending on how the rounding is going. If you have any questions about amortization schedules, please send me an email or come visit me during an office hour.